Indicators here. Happy Saturday. We made it. Saturday. So let's see. Yesterday we launched the much anticipated indicator, the Maverick Zones, which I have just been overwhelmed. I got to say this. I've just been overwhelmed with emails from you guys, how happy you are with the indicator. We're super pumped about it. I've been having a blast trading with it for the last while now since we came up with it, and then we went into beta, and then we went into live testing and all this stuff. If you're unfamiliar, the Maverick Zones auto draws all your support and resistance zones, auto draws it. And then as price gets close to those zones, it starts to score the probability of that price breaking or holding at that zone. And it has just been an absolute game changer. If you go back Thursday, we did just about $4,000. And then on Friday, we did like 4,300 bucks. And this indicator was just so helping us through everything, along with our other Maverick indicators. So those two are bangers. Make sure you go and watch this week's videos. We post a video every single day of us trading using our indicators. And also, before we jump in here, I just want to say congrats to so many of you guys passing evals this week. Oh my gosh, holy smokes. Big shout out. Saw his comment yesterday, Brian. $800,000 in funding. Jeez Louise, like, are you serious? And Brian said that he was loving the zones too, but just so cool. All right, so what are we going to do today? Hey, let's look back at the week and let's see how we would have done. We always need a strategy, right? And so many of you guys have different strategies. I like to just take like fundamental strategies, like things that a lot of folks work, whether it's trading from level to level, from zone to zone. And one of the big strategies that's very, very popular out there is the opening range breakout strategy. So let's use that. But let's get some edge using our Maverick indicators. Okay, because everybody is using this opening range breakout, feels like these days. It's very, very popular. But there's a lot of fake outs. There's a lot of different things you got to look out for when you're taking the opening range breakout. So we're going to take the opening range breakout every single day this past week, but we're going to use our other Maverick indicators to make sure that we're on the right side of the tracks and putting the winning probability in our favor. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to NQ. You guys just love NQ. Oh my gosh, you guys love NQ. I'm not a huge NQ trader. I like trading ES. I like trading CL. Love trading gold. But then obviously you guys know I like to trade stocks and options off the open. But for futures, I don't trade a ton of NQ. I do like NQ at night though. It moves very well. So we're just going to trade, but we're going to do it. We're going to do NQ. We're going to trade 2 contracts of NQ. We're going to do the 15-minute opening range breakout. And my charts are always Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to look to make $1,000 per day. Every single day, we're going to look to make $1,000 using the opening range breakout. We're going to use our Maverick Orb indicator that can help us spot that opening range breakout. And we're going to use some of our other Maverick indicators to make sure that we stay on the right side of the tracks of this strategy. Okay, so we're going to go Monday through Friday, and let's try and make $1,000 per day using our Maverick indicators. All right, so we're going to go on TradingView. Now, all of our indicators except for the Maverick Zones, all of our indicators except for the newly released Maverick Zones, every indicator in the Ultimate Edge bundle, works on NinjaTrader and TradingView, okay? So very, very cool, but the Maverick Zones is a TradingView exclusive. So we're gonna go bar by bar, and we're gonna look to make $1,000 per day, Monday through Friday, this past Monday through Friday. And this week was weird, right? Like people were on edge on Monday with the news, and then, they were all talking about, is the war gonna end? And then on Wednesday, there was some deadline. So Wednesday was kind of wacky, right? Because the whole market was holding its breath and going, is this thing gonna continue? Is it gonna end? And then you don't know where price is gonna go. So this will be an interesting week to look at. If you're unfamiliar with our Maverick indicators, let me give you a quick spin around background. Essentially, the Maverick AI Pro is coloring your background. Okay, so who's in charge? The bears or the bulls? Right here, the bears. This is obviously a downtrend. Green, the bulls, right? It's coloring your candles to the data, not to price and direction. So right now, you're probably trading with green and red candles. What the Maverick AI Pro does is it colors, think of it like a heat map. It colors your candles to the data underneath the hood. So red is your second strongest downside candle, red. Hot pink is your strongest downside data candle, okay? Gray is reversal or indecision. Green is your second strongest upside data candle, and bright green is your strongest upside data candle, okay? We always have a saying, if you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. If you see pink, it will most likely sink, okay? If you see pink, it will most likely sink. How cool, this is like having X-ray vision. How cool is it that you can see underneath the hood? So even when you're retracing, here's a great example right here. And I could show you a ton of these. Whereas like if you see pink, it will most likely sink. You get a sell signal, but you start retracing, but you're like, you know what? We're still below the Maverick guide. This blue line, we like to go short when price is below the blue line, and we like to go long when price is above the blue line. We like to go short when price is below the blue line, long when price is above it, short when price is below it. I could do this all day long. And even when it's retracing, you're like, no, I still have downside data candles, and look, it just keeps going down. And then you start retracing, but you had mostly downside data candles and a couple gray candles, and look, it just flushes right back down. So very cool stuff. The Maverick AI Pro absolutely can keep you on the right side of the tracks, and you'll see this as we trade the opening range breakout here. The Maverick Trender, when this line is pegged to the top, here, that's showing massive strength and momentum. And you can see it here, look, peg to the top. Oh, I was drawing on the wrong panel. Peg to the top, and look, whoosh, flew right up, okay? Peg to the top. Oh, you're pegged to the top over and over again. Look, this thing just kept flushing down. Look, this kept flushing down, okay? So the Maverick Trender is just awesome, 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 awesome. Scalper's dream too. You know, when this thing fires, scalper's dream. Okay, buy sell signals. So the Maverick signals we have on our charts. Here you got a beautiful sell signal. Here you got a beautiful buy signal, another sell signal. Really good stuff there. This all comes in the Maverick Ultimate Edge bundle. Maverick Multi-X. This is the indicator that started it all. T1 through T5. Think of these as traders, T1 through T5, okay? And what they're doing is, and what these 5 traders, they all have a completely different style. And what they're doing is they're trading across 6 time frames, okay? They're trading across 6 time frames. And these time frames you can set for whatever you want. So instead of having 6 charts on your monitor, why not have the Maverick Multi-X, which is monitoring 6 time frames that you can set however you want. 5 this is like being in the room of 5 different traders who all have a completely different style, and they're voting every single tick. Are they bearish or are they bullish? So coming into the open on Monday, they're very bearish. Very, very bearish, okay? So very cool stuff. And then the final thing is the Maverick Radar. The Maverick Radar is the ultimate trading assistant. This is also included in the Ultimate Edge bundle. What it's doing is it's going through our entire checklist of everything we're looking for a setup, and then it's giving you a grade. And right now you don't have a grade, but it'll give you a B grade or an A grade. And it'll say, you know, A+ grade to the upside, A+ grade to the downside. And you can actually stack multiple symbols to this, and just search our YouTube channel for Maverick Radar, or just the keyword radar, and you'll see we'll stack like ES and NQ, and we'll wait for an A+ setup on both of them before we take a trade. This thing is an absolute game changer, just absolute game changer. And then one last thing I'll just show you real quick before we get going, and we're going to look to make $1,000 per day, is the Maverick Zones. The Maverick Zones auto draws your support and resistance levels. Now, this is not in the Ultimate Edge bundle, and I'll put the link to get the Maverick Zones in the description. We just launched it yesterday. It's at a pre-launch price. It was members only at first. Now it's open for an early access, and it's at a pre-launch price that we're actually limiting the spots on. So if you're thinking about getting it, because this sucker is going to go up in price, it's going to be double in price than what it is now. The Maverick Zones, what the Maverick Zones is doing is it's auto drawing your support and resistance level by probability. It's not just saying, oh, there's a level here, so I'm going to draw it. No. There's a bunch of data crunching to go, is there truly a level here? And if there's truly a level by probability, when you get down close to when price gets close to it, it gives you these scores. And these scores are the probability score of price holding or breaking right through. Okay, so a 90% or higher is kind of like a brick wall. And once you hit 91%, this whole thing will turn green. And then anything under 90%, you are fair game to break. But how cool is it that you don't have to draw your support and resistance levels? And it comes with a bunch of different zones. It comes with major zones, minor zones. You can turn on cluster zones. You can turn on consolidation zones for those choppy days. You can turn on retest zones, which are they're like premium zones, high confidence zones. So anyway, very, very cool. So go check it out, MaverickIndicators.com/zones. And it's a TradingView exclusive. Okay, so let me just turn that sucker off. There we go. All right, great. So here we go. Let's try and make $1,000 per day. Now, one thing is when we start replay mode, the Maverick radar will disappear. This thing is such a powerful indicator that if you are on any time frame above 1 minute, TradingView will actually limit the processing power in replay mode. And I get it. They want to save their everything on TradingView runs on their servers, so they want to save that CPU power for live traders, right? So in replay mode, this is such a beast. Remember, you're trading against hedge funds. You're trading against like trillion-dollar funds, right? So like you need edge. Some wimpy little EMA thing isn't, I don't know. But the Maverick radar is very, very powerful. So you will get like, it'll just disappear in replay mode unless you're on the 1 minute chart. And some of you guys have been saying you've had success running on a 2 minute chart as well. But once I click, once we go, we won't be able to see this indicator, unfortunately. But I get it. There's people trading crypto live right now. It is the weekend, and TradingView wants to keep that bandwidth with live traders, which I love. As a live trader, I love that. All right, cool. All right, so let's go to make $1,000 per day on NQ. So where are we at? Okay, so we still need to, let's get the opening range going. Okay, the Maverick Orb indicator is going to draw our opening range box for us. Okay, so here we go. So what is this, 9:35? Okay, so we got to get to the 15-minute mark. This is a 15-minute opening range. So there we go. So boom, 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 9:50. Okay, so here is our signal. You guys see it. Here's our signal. Oh, potential opening range. Why does it say potential? Because if you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is our strongest downside data candle, but if we had a gray candle here, we would not get into it. Gray candles, people say, how do I stay out of chop? Let me find some chop here for you. Okay, great. 2 in the afternoon, okay? How do I stay out of chop? Don't get into gray candles. Oh, it kept going. Gray candles, chop. Gray candles means indecision or reversal. Look at all this chop, 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 okay? Chop. Gray candles means indecision or reversal. This is how the Maverick AI Pro can keep you on the right side of the tracks. So we don't get into gray candles. So when we get this signal on the Maverick Orb indicator, it'll say potential opening range because it wants you to check what's the candle color. Hot pink, if you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. Bright green, if you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Bright green is your strongest upside data candle, okay? All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. So what are we doing? We're stacking probability. If it walks like a duck, it sounds like a duck, it looks like a duck, it's probably a duck. So we're breaking the opening range. We have hot pink candles, your strongest downside data candle. All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. Maverick Trender is pegged to the top. You have a downtrend label. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And you have a down confidence arrow, but my label is blocking it. Okay. All right, cool. So we're going to sell here. We're going to look to make 1,000. Okay. We're going to look to make $1,000. All right. We'll go for an extra $10. And then we're going to risk 1,000. Okay. We're going to risk 980 bucks. Close enough. All right. So we're doing a 1-to-1 risk. We're going to look to make an extra $30 than what we're risking. All right, cool. So here we go. And you already bounced off this level. Look at this. We're going for $1,000. You already bounced off this level and wicked up. But the rules are the rules. We got the signal. We have hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. We got all 5 traders voting bearish across 6 time frames. And the Maverick Trender is pegged to the top. And I'm sure we have an A+ setup on the Maverick radar, but we can't use it in replay mode. Okay, cool. Let's go. All right, so now we got to hit this green line before we hit this orange line. All right, so we're going to go bar by bar. Boom. You just, first candle, you absolutely smashed it. Let me go here. Let me show you on the P&L. There's your $1,000. Absolutely beautiful. And we took little to no heat. That was awesome. All right, cool. So we made $1,000 on Monday. Let's look at Tuesday. All right, so here is Tuesday. Pretty bullish going into the open. You got all 5 traders voting bullish across first 4 time frames, all bullish. All 5 traders with a completely different style are all bullish. You got a green background, just going into the open. You got a B setup to the upside. But again, once the market opens, which will be about here, once the market opens, all hell can break loose. Everybody's piling in. Look at this massive move here, though. Let me scroll this over so you can see it. Sell signal way up here. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. Look at that. Just unstinking believable. Huge move to the downside. Just really, really cool. Sell signal, hot pink candles. This sucker went pretty darn far. Let's see here. It went, let's call it 330. And let's say you didn't get the bottom, 100. So 330 minus 100. This is 230. $230 point move. So how many ticks is that? 230 times 4, 920 ticks. And we didn't even take the full move. So what would that be on NQ? 920 times 5. It's a $4,600 trade. Just right here, just this move down. And we didn't even take the whole thing. We said, oh, well, we'll probably get out right around here. So we didn't even get any of this. And we took it starting around here. Phew, huge. 4,600 bucks. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Maverick Indicators just killing it right here. All right, so let's take the market open. We're looking to make $1,000 per day. We won on Monday. Now let's look to win on Tuesday, but let's see how it goes. All right, so let's do this. Here we go. So these are 5-minute candles. For all my folks that own the Maverick Indicators, we are on the default settings. Default settings. What are default settings? Default settings. By the way, if you're not unfamiliar with the orb strategy, this is your high, this is your low of the first 15 minutes, and we're just waiting for a break. We are waiting for a close above it or below it. Okay, so very simple, very, very simple. And the Maverick orb is just coloring it for us. So here we go. Let's go. Got to wait for a break. Now we're coming down. Ooh, sell signal. This is interesting. Very interesting. So now you got a sell signal right here. Let's see where this one goes. Are we going to break it? Now you got an up. Ah, ha, ha. Hot pink candles. How cool is this? Check this out. Your next candle was a hot pink candle, but it was heading up. this would have been a green candle for most people. But not you. You have the Maverick AI Pro. You know that there's tremendous rich downside data. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Pink is your strongest downside data candle. I just showed you this like $4,800 move all the way down here. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. Okay, so we got this sell signal. Now you have your orb signal here, potential orb. And yes, it is, because you have this pink candle. So we're going to get into this thing. Okay, we're going to get into this thing. We're going to sell right here. We're going to look to make $1,000. Okay. Oh, it looks like it really wants us to go for an extra $10 again. All right, so $1,000, and we're risking, supposed to be 1-to-1 risk. $980 is close enough. All right, cool. So we got to get down here before we get up here, right? Got the orb break. We got hot pink candles. All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. Maverick trender is pegged to the top. Let's go. Let's go. All right, here we go. We're going to hit it, and let's see how long it takes us. Not long at all. Okay, we just smashed right through it. Almost no heat. Let me zoom in on that. That is 66. You took like 6 ticks of heat. Insane, absolutely insane. Let's look at the P&L. There's your $1,010. We're overperforming here. All right, so we won Monday, we won Tuesday. Now let's look at Wednesday. All right, folks, here we are on Wednesday. Got a beautiful sell signal back here at bright and early 8 a.m. Came down very nicely. Very, very cool. All right, so let me remove those drawings. All right, where are we at? Market's about to open. Okay. Oh, let me, sorry guys. I'm a little bit too zoomed in here. A little bit too zoomed in. Let's go like this. All right, so opening range is getting established here. Here we go. And we got to break the high or the low of this opening range. So, perfect example right here. Perfect example. What do you have? You have your opening range break. A lot of people are getting in right here. They're getting in right here. Would you get into this trade? No. Why? Because you have a gray candle. Gray candles means indecision or reversal. We do not get into gray candle trades. The Maverick AI Pro is coloring your candle to the data underneath the hood. And the data underneath the hood is not stronger to the upside than it is to the downside. So we're not getting into this thing. We got the signal because this is an opening range break, but we're not getting into it, okay? Now, if we get a bright green candle after this, then we can get into it. And look, it came right back down into your opening range. You did not get faked out, okay? So many people just got spanked on this trade, but not you, okay? All right, we got another signal. We got another signal. Are you getting into this trade? No, you are not. Why aren't you getting into this trade? Because it's a gray candle. We stay out of gray candles. We do nothing with gray candles. Unless we're already in a trade, then it's fine, okay? All right, beautiful, boom. Now we got confirmation to the upside, okay? Now we have a green data candle. Now we can get in, okay? Now we can get in. All right, so we're gonna look to make $1,000. But yeah, it really wants me to squeeze out another $10 every day. All right, so $1,000, we're gonna risk 1,000, okay? Which is actually resting right on the opening range, which is interesting, okay? Your Maverick trender's firing to the top. All 5 traders are voting bullish across 6 time frames. And here we go. Let's see how long it takes us to get there. 1 candle, man. 1 candle. Let's go. This is like a 1 candle Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I think we're 1 candles. Boom. There's your $1,010. Very, very little heat again. Very, very little heat again from where we got in, and we just flew up. We could have made a lot more money than $1,000 on this trade. But how cool is it that you didn't get in here and get faked out? You didn't get in here. You waited for confirmation, and you honestly, if you would have gotten in here, it would have won. But we want that confirmation. We want to know that the data is to the upside. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Now, I don't even have my Maverick radar down here giving us an A+ setup or a B setup. I don't even have the Maverick zones on the screen so we can look at the zones and see the strong zones and the weak zones, because strong zones repel price. We're just working with a couple of indicators here from the Maverick Ultimate Edge bundle. And we're killing it so far. We're up 3 G's on the, well, actually $330, right? Didn't we win an extra 10 bucks every single day so far? So we won on Monday, we won on Tuesday, we won on Wednesday. Let's look at Thursday. All right, here we are on Thursday, pre-market even. Beautiful buy signal from the Maverick signals. Very cool to see. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. This is clear vision, folks. This is, look how many times your Maverick trender is just firing here to the upside. So stinking cool. You even had it here with the Maverick signals and it just flew up. So very cool stuff going into the open. Again, all these indicators are in the Ultimate Edge bundle. They're available on NinjaTrader and TradingView. All right, cool. So where are we at? Market open Thursday. Let's try and make another $1,000, 920. So here's your open. Boom, just flies down right on the open. Holy smokes. This is a massive candle. 490 down to, oh my God, is that serious? $490 to 344. That's almost a $150 move in one candle. That's 600 ticks. What is that, $3,000? I think this is a $3,000 trade on just one contract. That's insane. And you have what? What's a red candle? Downside data candle. Downside data candle. Okay. All right, cool. So now we got to wait for an opening range breakout. We got to get the first 15 minutes established. There you go. There's your signal. First candle that is after the 15 minutes. You got the opening range, potential opening range. Is it an opening range? Is it pot? Do we want to take this one? Yes, because it's hot pink candles. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. All right. So we're going to take this sucker. We're going to look to make $1,000. 1,000. What a huge move off the open. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. All right, 1,000. We're going to risk 1,000. All right, 950 is close enough. Okay, so we're going to look to make 1,000. We're risking 950, close enough to a 1-to-1 risk to reward. And here we go. All 5 traders are voting bearish across 6 time frames. And I will tell you right now, you definitely have an A+ setup on your Maverick radar. No question. All right, let's go through bar by bar and let's see. Boom. That hit it first candle again. There's your $1,000. $1,000 hit our take profit. Okay. All right. So we won Monday, we won Tuesday, we won Thursday. Now let's go look at Friday, which again, you guys know how I feel on Fridays, but man, I'm feeling pretty good because Friday we did $4,300. Yes. If you haven't seen yesterday's video, go to it. Live trading, we did $4,300. So anyway, all right. So we won Monday, won Tuesday, won Thursday, won Wednesday. I skipped saying Wednesday, I think. Let's go to Friday and see if we can finish off the week making another $1,000. All right, here we are on Friday. And we still have a little ways to go before the open. We still have a little, buy signal. Look at this. This isn't even part of it, but just want to show you guys. Buy signal, nice sell signal, came down. Could have made some money here. Buy signal. And where are we at? What time is it? 9:15. Okay, so we got to get to the open. Okay, so here's your... Look at this buy signal, and then the market opens, and this thing just flies straight up. Unbelievable. All 5 traders are voting bullish across 6 time frames. Maverick trenders pegged to the top. So is this the open? Yeah, that's the open. Okay, so now we got to establish our first 15 minutes, which is your opening range, right? And man, if you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Look at this move. I mean, you had this beautiful buy signal down here, and this thing just flew straight up, and it hasn't looked back. It hasn't looked back. And now, what do we got? What do we got, folks? We got our opening range break right here. Beautiful. All right, so now we're going to get into this thing. We're going to go to take profit 1,000. Okay, there's your 1,000. And then we're going to risk 1,000, 990, close enough. Okay. All right. So if you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Bright green is your strongest upside data candle. It's your strongest upside data candle. Okay. So let's look to make $1,000. But one candle, this is like best week ever. $1,000. Here's your $1,000. First candle. Not much heat whatsoever. Up confidence arrow, and this thing just flew up. All 5 traders are bullish across 6 time frames, and that is, I mean, this folks is edge. If you're still trading with red and green candles, come on, come check us out. All right. Unbelievable. All right. So we won Monday, we won Tuesday, we won Wednesday, we won Thursday, we won Friday. We're 5 for 5 for a total of 5 G's. We actually won a little bit more than $1,000 on most of these days, but we'll just call it $1,000. 5 grand on the week. Let's go. Let's go. We're not even using the Ultimate Trading Assistant, the Maverick Radar that comes in the Ultimate Trading, the Ultimate Edge bundle. That is it's literally the Ultimate Trading Assistant. It goes through our entire checklist to see if we even have a setup. And if we don't have a setup, it'll tell you. And then if we have a B setup or an A+ setup to the upside or the downside, it'll give you an alert. And we're not even using the Maverick Zones that just got released yesterday that I know so many of you guys are absolutely loving. So, so much fun. We're just having fun every single day, aren't we? All right. So, listen, if you want edge in the market, if you want clear charts, not financial advice, do your own research, never any guarantees in any market, but man, come have fun with us. Come have fun with us. Come check us out. All right. I'll leave the link in the description for the Maverick Zones, because there's limited spots for the early access. And we've closed the window on the member joining, and now it's open for everybody. And then this is before we do the final price that it's going to. And then the Maverick Ultimate Edge bundle, go check it out. It comes with the Maverick AI Pro that colors your candles to the data underneath the hood. Comes with the Maverick Trender. Comes with all 5 traders that are voting every single tick across 6 time frames. They're algorithms, but think of them as traders. Comes with the Maverick Radar. Comes with 10 indicators. No, I challenge you to go find better value than the Ultimate Edge bundle. I challenge you. Okay. Listen, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I'll most likely will come back on here tomorrow and show you guys some more opens or whatever, I'll go through my email and I'll see what you guys wanted to see on the weekly recap, and we'll take it from there. Maybe we'll even take another peek at the Maverick Zones. All right, cool. Guys, trade safe, trade smart, rest up this weekend, practice, practice, practice. Let's go crush it. Let's go make a bag this week. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, guys, take care. MaverickIndicators.com. That's MaverickIndicators.com.